Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, first of all, let me start off by saying this episode of the Angry Man Podcast is brought to you by Born to Box. That is a docuseries from the good brother Curtis Scoons. It should be released this month. It is a documentary about boxing from the perspective of the boxers, trainers, and the boxing insiders. www.borntoboxfilm.com. Go check it out. Now, Jay, you and I talked about this, I think it was actually earlier this week, where Eddie Hearn mentioned that, there were three names that were on the docket, if you will, for Anthony Joshua. I'm not going to even mention the other two names because we focus solely on Frances Ngannou because we believe that Ngannou would be the person that got the nod. And why did we believe that? Because AJ Hearn, in my personal opinion, more than likely believe that he, being AJ, will have the ability to actually sell that fight versus a Tyson Fury who did not sell that fight much. Now, I think they're probably also looking through the lens, Jay, of the fact that no one really took Frances Ngannou seriously. And so now that Tyson Fury has kind of set that baseline for Frances Ngannou, now people might take this fight even more seriously than they did in the first fight. And he might get substantial pay-per-view buys in regards to that. But not only that, still, he's not necessarily the threat, right, that you would really predict he would be just based off of the performance that we saw with Tyson Fury. I mean, think about it. Tyson Fury went into the fight, took the guy lightly. The guy performed better than expected. And so now people are going to say, man, Francis Ngannou, he got a real chance to win this fight. But in reality, he probably still lose this fight because AJ is a much more decorated fighter than Francis Ngannou. Now, I will say this. AJ is chinny.
Yeah.
He's chinny. So if he gets clocked with a punch, maybe Francis Ngannou can do something. I don't know. He's definitely chinny, and this is the heavyweight division. But guess what? AJ also has substantial power, more power than Tyson Fury. So if he lands a shot, it could be night for Ngannou as well. And I know a lot of people, specifically Band Up, who is a Francis Ngannou fan, maybe they don't believe that to be the case, but I certainly do because it's heavyweight boxing and anything can happen. But I just think that this is probably a safe bet for AJ, a safer bet than any other opponent that he could possibly get to the table where, not only is it a fairly safe bet, all things considered, but it also can leverage the most amount of money that he can possibly make. So it's minimizing his risk and maximizing his profit. So that's essentially how I feel about it, Jay. If you ask me, am I excited about the fight? I'm kind of like, me.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I'll watch it.
It ain't the fight we want. It ain't the fight that we wanted. The fight we wanted was right there.
Mm-hmm.
But with Wilder's loss to Parker, they asked that, which is I understand why they asked it.
Totally understand it.
Yeah, I mean he lost and he didn't look good in that loss at all. But with this fight here, it's intriguing just because of the power Ngannou has. But to your point, AJ has power as well. I don't think this fight will probably go to distance no matter who wins because neither one has has shown that they have a true gas tank, and this is only Ngannou's second fight.
Facts. Good point.
And it's a lot of power in both of them that they both possess. So I definitely want to see this fight going to distance, whether it's a knockout by AJ or a knockout by Ngannou by something that AJ don't see. But I think AJ is going to be more cautious in fighting someone with heavy hands like an Ngannou, and he's just going to utilize his boxing and going to pick him apart possibly on this fight here. But you never know because AJ is chinny. To your point, he gets cracked. We'll be interested how he feels, how he bounces back from being cracked. But this ain't the fight we all wanted. We all wanted the Wilder AJ fight, but that didn't happen because of the dominated loss that the way that Wilder lost in dominating fashion to Parker. Basically, I say it's more what Wilder didn't do versus what Parker did do. But we got a heavyweight fight. Anything can happen when them big boys, them big guys are in there, and they throwing a leather like that, and it takes one shot to lay them out. So we'll see what happens, but I don't know how this is going to impact, after this Tyson Fury Usyk fight. He's really fighting here. Is this going to be an eliminator? for a shot at one of the belts. So it'll be interesting how they play that to go forward. But it's definitely gonna be a money fight, fighting in Saudi Arabia. We'll see how they get back and how they promote it, because it definitely can be promoted done the right way. Like you said, Tyson Fury really didn't promote the fight with him and Ngannou. It did help Ngannou get this fight here, whether it's going to be against AJ or Wilder, because his performance against Tyson Fury, and I think that was more so Tyson Fury looking lackluster and not taking him seriously versus what Ngannou did, because Tyson Fury looked horrible in that fight. He looked horrible in that fight. In my opinion, I felt he lost or a draw at best case scenario on that, but they gave him the win anyway to keep that fight with Usyk for undisputed there. So it was going to be a bad. Well, he going to lose fight anyway, but it would have been a horrible look for that. But we got that. They say it's going to be on March 9th, so they did say that was a fight. That was the date that AJ and Wilder were signed to fight, but of course, because we all know he lost to Parker, it goes to Frances Ngannou. So that's what we got to look forward for on March 9th.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit surprised about the Francis Ngannou fight and I'm actually surprised that Ngannou is actually interested in, right? So, outside of the money, I thought Francis Ngannou would probably be more interested in going after a fighter who actually has a title, right? Because that was the whole thing, right? It's like, he should be heavyweight champion, or he could be heavyweight champion right now if that fight would have been actually for the heavyweight championship. And so now that he's ranked, you would think that he would be more interested in actually making a fight that would earn a heavyweight title, and to be the first MMA fighter that I'm aware of that actually ended up winning a heavyweight title as well. So that's something that I would think he would be more interested in doing. Now, maybe it's just a situation where he's like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get to this money, and not only the money, but there's an opportunity for me to, make a name for myself in this particular fight as well. So let me go ahead and do that. That'll set the stage for me to get the opportunity to fight for the heavyweight championship. Who knows? But we'll see what happens. Of course, I'm going to sit down and watch it because I'm a boxing fan. And we have a boxing channel, right? So we're going to sit down and watch it. But definitely not the fight that I hope to see, but I can't even argue that. I can't even really, push that, because at the end of the day, it was Deontay Wilder that didn't hold up his end of the bargain, and that's the reason why we're not getting the fight that we want. So,
yeah, totally agree with that. It'll be interesting just to see. I think I watched they turn this into a title eliminator. I wouldn't be surprised they try to do that. One of the sanctions, probably the WBC, might try to turn this into a title eliminator, because AJ just won. He is next up in line for one of the belts, and I just have a feeling it'll be the WBC to do that.
Yep. So you guys tell us what you think. Don't forget to go check out www.borntoboxfilm.com. Again, that is a boxing docuseries from the good brother Curtis Schoon. Excellent work that he's doing over there. Go check it out, www.borntoboxfilm.com. Also, make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to comment as well. Jay, anything else you want to share before we move on to the next?
Just make sure y'all tune in every Sunday at 4 p.m. for our live
Eastern Standard. Appreciate you guys. Peace.